What's up, nerds? So I just finished Superman and Lois. I'm sorry this is a little bit late, but you know, I had to go to the gym today and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this episode was stellar. I'll tell you what, this season, this show overall has just been so good. I love this show. I can say nothing but good things about it. I wish this wasn't the last season because they're doing so much good work, and then they set something up, at least in this episode, that I'm all like, there's no way they can do it. Like, for instance, I'll just say, like, Brainiac. There's no way they can do Brainiac. And I just want to be like, if you can't do Brainiac, why are you hinting at him? You know what I'm saying? And, it's fine. It is what it is. All right, I'm going to stop yapping right now, get into this breakdown and tell you my thoughts during, and then I'll do my whole, shebang at the end. All right. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, here we go. All right. So Lois learns that she is cancer free. Yay. While John Henry and Natalie unknowingly rescue Milton from a staged car accident. So during this time, Lois is nervous about she's going to go get the test results from her cancer from last season. And she goes, but while she's doing that, John Henry and Natalie, they save Milton, fine, from a car accident, which all of this was staged and everything by him and the Asian lady. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. And so they stage this whole thing so they can get into his suit. And we find out that Lois doesn't have cancer anymore. And she's like, we're bazoongas for everybody, which is that their version of Hooters, which is super fun. I like that Hooters. They got good chicken wings and booby tassels. And yeah, I love it. So Luthor Corporate, they have Gordon Godfrey interview Luthor, who challenges Lois to a debate. So I want to just say real quick, it was weird that he's like, debate me, Lois, debate me. And I'm all like, okay, calm down. He didn't say it like that. But one thing they did have in here was they had Conroy. Is that the actor's name? I can't remember. But he's playing Gordon Godfrey. Now, this is something that they kind of set up, which I just go, what's going on here? Because is this leading into something, more? But we only have 2 episodes left. So they can't go into that. And that is the fact that Gordon Godfrey is actually Glorious Godfrey, a.k.a., an apostle of Darkseid. And it just makes me go, you're setting this up, but there's no way they're going to bring in Darkseid with 2 episodes left. That'd be weird. So I personally didn't. I mean, obviously, they did it in Smallville too, but then they did do Darkseid very weakly, by the way. I did not like the way they did Darkseid in that show. I'm personally like, if you're not going to do Brainiac right, like in Krypton, if you ever watch that show, they did Brainiac right. But if you're not going to do Brainiac right, don't do Brainiac at all. If you're not going to do Darkseid right, don't do Darkseid at all. It's like Doomsday in this. Smallville did Doomsday crappy, but this show, they did Doomsday right. I liked it and everything, although they defeated him with love. I didn't like that, but whatever. What are you going to do? So John Henry learns that Otis was found dead in his cell at prison before he could testify against Luthor. And he also runs a test on Clark and concludes that his powers are slowly fading. So while Lois and Clark are going over her response to Luthor's, calling her out to debate, a brick goes through the window because people are protesting. And she and Clark barely, he catches it, but he doesn't catch it until after it goes through the window because he didn't hear it right away. So they're going to use Otis's testimony against Luthor because he's the only one that can, but he is Epsteined himself. So then John Henry, he decides to do some tests on Clark, right? And so he finds that because Clark has a human heart, it's not built for his body, which we all knew this was going to happen and everything, which this has happened in the comic books where I have a feeling they're going to kill Superman, which will bum me out, or they're going to have Superman powerless and he lives the rest of his days as a normal man. And I'm all like, I don't like that either. I like Superman. It's like, I like my bad guys bad and I like my good guys with powers and good. Something tells me at the end we're going to be passing on the mantle and I'm not feeling it, So meanwhile, while this is going down, Natalie has been struggling with her work-life balance and her, her normal life. And then Candace, Jonathan's girlfriend, breaks up with Jonathan. And, because she's upset that people are stalking her because of his popularity. And Jordan and Natalie, they convince him to meet her in person. And when he does, they reconcile. So we've got a lot of celebrity here, where, okay, so first off, Natalie, she wants to have a personal life, like her little boyfriend from last season. She says she hasn't seen him or talked to him very much because she's doing she's working on all these weapons for the DOJ, and her father. And it's really hard to get that balance of, work and personal, which, I mean, all of us can understand that, yeah. But then Candace, like an asshole, breaks up with Jonathan over a text. What is that? And then he calls her and he's like, I miss you. Please don't break up with me. And then, so they're like, if you love her, you got to fight for her. And so then they hop over to her house and they make up and start making out. So at the interview, right, Luther displays footage of Clark fighting him and Jonathan infiltrating his hotel. And so as Lois tries to call Elizabeth, his daughter, Milton hacks the Steel and Starlight suits and has them attack the Kents, and with Jonathan Henry trapped inside his suit. So while the interview is going down, Luther is just throwing out footage because he's like, because she brings up Otis. He's like, do you have proof? And then she's like, I have your daughter. And she's like, she's in London waiting for my call, fuckface. And he's all like, and then the Asian lady's like, Milton, do it. And so Milton, he infiltrates the suits because they saved him. And they go after him. So the Starlight suit goes after Jonathan and Jordan. And then John Henry, his suit with him inside of it, he goes after Superman and Lois, right? So Superman then breaks through the window to rescue John Henry and destroy his suit, while the twins destroy Natalie's suit. So while they're fighting, the twins, I liked how they did, because the suit grabs Jonathan by the neck and it's like strangling him. And Jordan from behind's like, don't fuck with my twin brother, and like zaps it. And then he zaps it from the front and they destroy that one completely. And then Superman, he doesn't destroy, destroy John Henry's suit, but he takes it down and, it gets taken, you know what I'm saying? Which was very, the fight sequence was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. So then later that night, right, Godfrey, he exposes that Lois is Superman's wife and uses that to damage and discredit her. Now, Clark and Lois, they tell the twins about Clark's condition, right? And then Luther and McCoy, they share a kiss because they both want the same thing. And then Milton recovers the steel suit and he's altering it for Luther's use. So so Godfrey, he gets on there and he played the Reverse Flash, by the way. If you ever watched The Flash, he was the Reverse Flash. And everybody was all like talking about how he was going to be on there. And this was the big reveal. I didn't think Gordon Godfrey was like the best character for him to play. But at the same time, I'm not mad about it. Like, I literally just don't care like what character he was going to play. He's a good actor. I do enjoy him. I'm just curious if this is the only episode he's going to be in. And like, is there any connection to Darkseid? I don't think there will be. I hope there isn't, just because it's just weird to do that so late in the game, right? And he discredits Lois because he's all like, her husband was Superman. And I'm all like, so I would be on Superman's side. I don't give a shit. So it's like, whatever. But then Clark and Lois, they tell Jonathan and Jordan about Clark's diminishing powers. And again, I have a feeling that Clark is either A, going to die by the end of this show, B, loses powers. And either way, the mantle will be passed down to his two sons, which I'm kind of like, it's fine. But at the same time, I'm all like, no, it's called Superman and Lois, not Superboy and Super Twin or the Super Twins. Like, nobody wants that shit. I want Superman. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, Luther and McCoy, Amanda, they kiss, and she's pretty hot. I'd kiss her too. I'm like, yeah, baby, come here. And then Milton, he gets the suit and he's turning it into the suit from the comic books that we know and love and everything. And I love that green and purple suit. It's so cool. So That's the end of the episode. I can't wait for the next episode because this one was good. It was a good one. So I really enjoyed this episode. I've enjoyed this show all the way through. I've loved every second of it. I think this episode was really good because I liked that Milton, I don't know if they're going to do Brainiac. I think, like I said before, I think bringing Brainiac in this late in the game is also a misstep if they do the Brainiac storyline. Because I'm just like, you can't wrap this up fast enough. And if you do, it's going to be so clunky, and I'm not interested. I guess this is a good way to take John Henry and Natalie out of the mix, which I'm like, I'm kind of bummed about that. And I am curious to how this whole thing will turn around. You know what I'm saying? I really just I'm excited to see where we go from here. And it's going to be bittersweet. Like, I'm going to be happy because the show is so good. It's been so good. And I just love every minute of it. But I'm also going to be sad that it's done, you know? And it's not, you know what's about this show? Okay. So if you ever watch Smallville, and I think when I watched I watched all 10 seasons and I loved all 10 seasons, but there was a point in time, I believe it was around season 7, don't quote me on that, when I was like, this should have ended, you know? And I think that Lois and Superman and Lois, I'm the opposite of this one. I don't think this is the time to end it. But unfortunately, I do think they are ending the show because James Gunn doesn't want to have a competing Superman with his Superman, which I understand that line of thinking. I totally get it. I do think that having more than one character is hurting rather than helping DC. I think that we should just have one Superman, one Batman, and everything. That's why I don't like the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I'm just like, just end that shit. But they want to do all these Elseworld stories, which I get. I'm like, whatever about it. So again, all in all, I loved this episode. Love this show. Cannot wait for the last 2 episodes. We'll see. I don't know if they're dropping at the same time. Probably not. They probably want to keep going with this. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? You know, are you excited? Do you think that the bringing in Godfrey, that this is that they're going to do anything with Darkseid, or is it just they're just bringing in that character because he's a news person from the DC universe, you know? And do you think they're going to bring in Brainiac? And if you do think they are going to bring them in, either one of those two things, do you think that is a misstep because they won't have enough time to introduce, explain, and then wrap it up? You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't think they're doing Darkseid, but we'll see. But tell me what you guys thought about this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go to that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Superman and Lois breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.